Yeah. Let's see if I can get it. There it is. Set it up. Garage. I got a screen into it. Bigger than all.
6:59.
I'd like to call this meeting to order. If the clerk would please call the roll.
Trustee R.
Here.
Kennedy,
Here.
Micah,
Here.
Hash,
Here.
Moon, Carr,
Here.
President Nettmeyer.
Evening, folks. As President Nettmeyer is absent this evening, a motion for Mayor Pro Tem appointment for this evening's meeting would be in order.
I'd like to make a motion.
I'll second it.
To appoint
Terry Carr as Mayor Pro Tem.
Motion, we have a second. Roll call.
Trustee R.
Aye.
Kennedy,
Aye.
Micah,
Aye.
Hash,
Aye.
Moon, Carr.
Aye.
Okay.
And for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. President Nettmeyer had asked if I would read a short statement sheet after this evening. Good evening to you all. I regret that I cannot be present at tonight's meeting. We all tried very hard and never missed one. But tonight, also at 7 p.m., is the Pleasantdale Elementary School Band Concert. For my two fourth grade sons, this is their first performance. I simply could not miss being there for them at this milestone. Thank you all for conducting the village business in my absence. I'm sure that our meeting and the band concert will both be great. Sincerely, Melissa. Let's move on to the disposition of the previous minutes from the January 26, 2023 combined committee and board. I have a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Trustee R.
Aye.
Kennedy,
Aye.
Micah,
Aye.
Hash,
Aye.
Moon, Carr.
Aye. Belong to the village administrators report.
Thank you. I have a quick report this evening. Just as a continued update on the LT High School District 204 land. Since our last board meeting, LT has still not communicated with the Village of Willow Springs in any official manner. We attended their last meeting. We urged them to communicate with not only us, but the entire community, and to please rebid the property, showing the correct current zoning if they want to keep it up for sale so that they can have a realistic offer on the property. For everybody's knowledge, Burr Ridge has reviewed an ordinance that they're planning on passing at their next board meeting. They held a discussion on it at their meeting on Monday night. What that'll do is declare that they support the Village of Willow Springs and our current zoning, and also make clear that they have no intention to annex the property out of our community. Hotchkiss and Indian Head Park are also reviewing a very similar ordinance that we expect both towns to pass. So it's been pretty unified message from everybody around us that nobody wants to see this development go forward, and hopefully LT High School changes direction here very soon. Additionally, there is a joint community letter that's gone around. What this is the product of Pleasantdale Elementary and other jurisdictions, Willow Springs being one of them, with the presidents of all the boards. So you're talking Burr Ridge, Indian Head Park, Hotchkiss, Countryside, Pleasantdale Elementary, as I've mentioned, and possibly others. Are all going to send a letter to LT signed and penned by all of these board leaders, again, expressing support for the current zoning and support for the request that LT rebid the property at appropriate usage if they would like to sell it. So that's something that's been working on. Other than that, we'll just keep providing updates. I've been monitoring LT's website. which is where they've instructed us to look for updates. And as of 15 minutes ago, there is still no update to the community since January. So we'll continue to monitor it. Thanks.
Very good. Let's move along to the village clerk's report.
Have no report this evening.
Move on to reports of officials, village engineer,
I have no report.
village attorney,
There is no report this evening.
village treasurer.
No report.
No. We'll go to the reports of the standing committees. The first one being finance and administration, trustee Ara.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I would like to make a motion to approve item 781, warrant 23-0-03 dated February 9th, 2023, payroll and fund expenses totaling $245,267 and 56 cents. I made the,
Yeah, you made the motion. So
I'll second that
second.
motion.
Okay, any further discussion?
just update, these are warrants that really, payroll purposes. Last week of December of 2022 for the first week of January 2023, which includes, or reflects the payroll increases that were approved in the resolution 2022 R18, back in December 15th. So that transition is happening at this point right now. That's just an update to make everybody aware.
Anyone else have anything to discuss on this? Being none, will you please call the roll?
Trustee R.
Aye.
Kennedy.
Aye.
Micah.
Aye.
Kosh.
Aye.
Moon. Car.
Aye,
That concludes my report.
thank you. Public Safety Committee, trustee Kennedy.
I have no report.
Municipal Buildings and Grounds Committee, trustee Micah.
Thank you, Pro Temp Mayor. Community Center carpeting is scheduled to be replaced Monday the 13th and Tuesday the 14th. Also, the Village Hall project will proceed once the weather allows. This is planned for very early spring. And also, we have also been painting and updating the police department and projecting will continue through the winter as time allows the public works. That would conclude my report.
Thank you. Public Works Committee, trustee Bosch.
Thank you, Mary. Mayor Pro Tem. I just want to let the residents know that luckily we've had a break in the weather and Public Works has had a chance to do some maintenance on the snow plows, a lot of cleaning. You might see around town, they're replacing water, trying a lot of the street lights. And they put a list together of signs, street signs, caution signs, and that are in disrepair that they're gonna get together and replace. So that's give us a chance to let us know, and we won't get any because we just got over the call from Brian, so we won't stay there tonight. Thank you. That's a report.
Thank you. License and Franchise Committee, trustee Moon.
The licensing franchise committee. I said last week, we might have a couple to announce tonight, but even one of them comes down to that. Okay. That's my report.
Thank you, sir. Construction, for January, it's always kind of slow. We issued 11 permits. They had a total value of construction, $1,664,645. This brought the permit fees to $45,071. And that concludes that. Time to move into action items. To approve ordinance 2023-0-2 authorizing the disposal of village-owned surplus property. You don't want to make a motion?
So moved. I'll second it.
Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Trustee R.
Aye.
Kennedy.
Aye.
Micah.
Aye.
Kosh.
Aye.
Moon. Car.
Aye. Thank you, and that concludes that. We'll move along to old business. New business. Right, that moves us to public comment. Do we have anyone signed up?
Yes, we do. I have Frank Bianco. Would like to come up, please? Want to state your name?
Obviously, this is water and tank. They. He said that they are still seeking to sell the property for $55 million and are still interested in working something out with anybody interested, all interested parties at that price. I mean, what else can we do? Can we create an ordinance that, no commercial or industrial buildings within 1,500 feet of a school or a park?
So I'll respond to that for you. So, I mean, the village, obviously, at our last meeting, we passed a resolution supporting the existing zone. That was a pretty strong message. We've gone there several times. We have, surrounding communities involved supporting it. So you have to be careful when you try to spot zone, I guess you can call that, right? Where you're going to go after it. You can end up in some unnecessary litigation. Right now, our strongest case is if the school wants to really upset the community and waste their time, which is what they're doing by selling it to an unapproved usage, right? The end user there. All that's going to happen is if they do go with that deal, just like the existing one that they already denied, right? That deal had a buyout clause where they had some time to come to the village, seek zoning changes. If they weren't successful, they could get out of the deal. So every sale that LT has is going to have that clause in it. And these people are not going to receive the zoning unless they're going to come at us with something such as senior living or residential or light B1 usage, right? So there's the village's hands are tied because we can't spot zone. We're going to end up getting into litigation there. We have zoning that has been in place for a significant amount of time, and it's not a good idea to go changing it at the moment. In like a more of a retaliation type change, right? You're going to end up in a problem there. So like I said, we're going to keep monitoring it. If there is at this point that their efforts are being wasted, the value that they have on the land is for an industrial use. That's what they had it appraised at. We all know that. And so what they really need to do, which has been told to them again and again and again in many different ways, they need to reappraise the property at approved uses, then seek a buyer. And then from there, we'll have to work with it. And then there's a lot of discussions on what that usage is and what is best for the community. But all we can do right now is go off of what the existing zoning is. So I think that the board's been doing a really good job at working with the surrounding communities and the other boards, the park district, the school district, things like that, to highlight the fact that we're all unified in this. Nobody wants to see it change. The park district is going to be one of our biggest allies. They own a piece of land in the middle of it. They have no interest in selling and no interest in changing a zoning or doing a land swap or anything like that. So I think if everybody stays united, which the community is clearly doing, we're going to be okay. We just have to kind of wait and see, and hopefully at some point LT stops digging their heels in and move on from this.
The areas that had been purchased years ago, full school, not known for school.
No, it is zoned for a school, and in the plan development, that is one of the things that are highlighted as an approved usage is a public, not private. Private schools are excluded. Public schools are allowed.
All right, the next speaker I have is Patrick Murray.
Evening, I don't think I need to state my name because I can the point. But with that being said, for the benefit of the record, I'm Patrick Murray, the resident of Wilshire. First of all, I commend the board for showing up to the LT meeting again. And also applaud the mayor for his speech. And I think that was suggested, I think not the last here, that speech should have come from the individual speech, should have come from the mayor. It would suggest that, like the data points, the unified message for. Don't think that message was well received. I think that LT is standing steady in what they plan to do. And as long as our village and our village board stands strong in what it's going at, through the bill, however, is reinforce the questions that I what the board outside of the box, I think that there needs to be new ideas. And I think we got some of that at the last board meeting here. They were posted up in this quote, and one of the ideas was maybe, from the word system that they use to their advantage. I think that what that is, that box. And so I think that the board is able to think outside the box with other issues. But I would ask the board to think outside the box. How can we hold the community forum if the residents, but not maybe they have ideas. Maybe there's things that they suggested for. And at the end of the day, the board can take credit for those ideas, along with everything themselves, the residents have. So, yeah, I just think it's no ideas. And we have form to get everybody. For the right.
Thank you.
There's no more speakers.
Yes.
You know, I've been hearing a lot about the LT property, I understand everybody's concerns. But I hope there's been much thought about how to pay off and the chip resign.
Excuse me, Carol, if you could just state, if you could please state your name. We all know, but just for the recording. Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you. Yes. If you could come up and state your name at the podium, please.
I was not aware of the procedure, I'm sorry. I know.
You just need to state your name.
Sorry, Mary. I'm sorry that the mayor's not here, but I understand. And I just wanted to say that I like the idea of Mr. Murray saying that there should be a community forum. When I look at the property, I'm hoping that it doesn't exclude, the development of things like a cultural arts center or a fitness center. I get to see that going to good use for the whole community and not just our village, but the community. And I'm thinking that I know the 55 million is really a stretch. And I don't know of anybody other than you. I'm thinking, pick up the facts that possibly, there could be federal and state government funds. It's called local and private grants. Yeah, and I'm sure the mayor is well qualified to make grants. Research and funding. I think even like with for example, like a historical museum, could be a Native American museum, and the government would be happy to fund that. For some of it, community or high school, colleges. I mean, we need that in this day and age, for advanced manufacturing, healthcare, information technology, I mean, we really have to think outside the box and be very futuristic, for our future generations. Because schools right now, I don't think are innovative enough, and LT is included. They have to really think about what the students going to need, 20 years from now. I don't think that's maybe a class. It could be, forestry, like you said, the tech colleges, even we don't even have a public library in this town. We could use that, and I know we can secure government that. Built a new little post office, a community center that possibly would unite both the north and south side of town. Bring us together and have a place in the center of town versus the south side. So there's so many possibilities, and I'm not against roughly generating possibilities. We need that too. I think we could do that strategically. things that would bring, welfare, good welfare to the community, like bakery, coffee shop, daycare, things like that. No, again, under. And I believe also, people are interested, and I was talking with Steve about that, actually, he brought it up, not really good. In Chicago, that is something that, yeah, private. People could look at that community plan and consider that, go to their website and see what they did in their community, the first Chicago community, and I don't see why we can't get, some of that. Just want to say that, I know, Melissa, our mayor, is bring this forward. I hope that, she hears some of that, that I would be happy to be on the part of the committee, that looks into these possibilities. And thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anyone else want to address the board? Executive session, we do not need one tonight. Village president report, well, she's not here, so we'll have one for us next time. And I will look for a motion to adjourn. Okay. Would you please call the roll?
Trustee Ara.
Aye.
Kennedy.
Aye.
Micah.
Aye.
Posh.
Aye.
Moon. Carr.
Aye.
7:21.
Okay, we'll call this meeting to conclusion at 7:21. Thank you, folks, for coming tonight.